Good evening. I love teaching, but even more than that, I love learning. To paraphrase Mark Twain, never let schooling interfere with education. I've taken this advice to heart, both figuratively and literally. On February 11th, I started the greatest adventure of my life. I liked my job at Major Pratt, and I liked walking to school in 1.5 minutes every morning. I liked listening to my stereo after work and riding my trials bike in the valley on the weekends. But I started to think that we are often governed by a sense of what is a proper chronology to our lives. That there's a fairly rigid outline of what defines success for a middle-class prairie dweller. I've thought lately with a new seriousness about the differences between success and contentment. It's easy to be swept into a conventional sense of what is normal without having given it your own critical eye. I start to be afraid. Afraid that 40 years from now, I would have led a correct, polite, unremarkable life and have done nothing more exciting than make all my loan payments on time. What would I have robbed myself of?
Hi, Derek Houston.
Darius Bombeck. Nancy Longclaw.
Aaron Jackson.
Sasha Dunn. Sean Shingus, I want to meet you.
Some people love youth for its recklessness, the expectation that life lasts forever. Now that may be youth of age, but youth of spirit usually contrasts this. By embracing mortality, one lives more fully, more vividly. I really feel that it's this sense of being mortal that can drive you to do things which are seemingly not the most convenient nor sensible. My personal creed then is to be occasionally ruthless in examining how my very typical life compares with the personal history I hope to cultivate. Becoming older in years is making me younger in spirit. It was a growing appreciation that there really is only one chance to live life, which allowed me to overcome my fears about living overseas for a year.
Blake Barger,
Sarah Helen.
Nicole Kuss,
Anthony Graham. Jackie Ton.
Selena Parent, we want to meet you.
I was afraid to start job hunting from square one in an economy I did not understand and fields of employment unrelated to teaching. I was afraid to pack up my comfortable house and go to a place where I did not have my familiar retreat at the end of a day of new challenges. I was afraid to live in a country where I cannot speak or write as well as I do in English and my wife cannot speak the language at all. But I was more afraid to not do it. I'm sure that tonight many of you can relate to fears about leaving behind comfortable routines. Some of you may be afraid that the path you have chosen may be uncomfortable or difficult. Some of you may be afraid that you have not yet chosen a path. I will not placate your fears by telling you that the change is easy or the road ahead will always be a graceful ascent. My first job in Austria after a month of unemployment was as a part-time evening dishwasher. The house I'm renting has a toilet in a small room with no sink, a bathtub in the basement, and a sink in the kitchen. Let's just say that the living accommodations help me get past any lingering apprehension I might have about getting out to see new people and places.
Carl Nixon, Lexi Davidson.
Patricia Dumbler. Christina Melkamp.
Dennis Son. Christy Robertson.
Den Lernberg.
Mark Drum, I want to meet you.
We all live in rubber bands of safety. These bands are more than each brain's sense of comfort. They include our environments, the normal supportive webs of residents, friends, family. Zones where we function with minimal fears. That is all therapeutic to a degree. It supports and sustains us. But it limits personal growth. Why bother to grow? In its barest element, what other purpose can there be to a human life? I'm learning that truest happiness and contentment lie in facing your fear and overcoming it. Do make yourself naked and vulnerable to what the unknown can bring. Every new thing you experience is food for the soul. A healthy soul nourishes the mind. The nourished mind escalates desire to do, see, feel.
Emily Stashak,
Richard Wolko,
Nelisa Kuleska.
Tilda Correa.
Megan Paradise.
Landon Fraser.
Kim Neuhofer. I want to meet you.
I'm honored to play a role in marking your graduation. You are a special class to me. You embody all kinds of good things about healthy life environment. You stand out to me as having true sincerity in dealing with each other and natural easygoing closeness, acceptance of one and all as they are. You have a deep willingness to help each other out, and a strong sense of plain old fun and silliness. All of these qualities give you good starts in taking youthful spirit deeply into your hearts. In planning my trip, I was very sorry to be missing the celebration with you.
Nicole McLeod.
Skylar Jones.
Keith Tibbins, I want to meet you.
Teresa Bulashak.
Cole Sinek.
Alicia Higgins, I would really like to meet you.
The wonderful tools of video and internet are technology at work for us tonight. Every day, they make Earth smaller, communicate ideas, and give us very real feelings about people and places we have not seen. Do not be satisfied by the virtual experiences they lay before you. My thoughts are with you tonight, but I'm not really here. The world is such an amazingly beautiful place. It would be a shame not to see some of it for yourself.
Patricia Wischert.
Nolan Pickner.
Hi, Emma Middleton. I want to meet you.
From Preston Hogart.
David Fenton. Dan Peredan, I want to meet you. Ci vediamo presto. Viva l'Italia!
Nothing else compares. Oh, nothing else compares. Nothing else compares.
I've talked in some detail about the fears I had in taking my trip to Austria. Through that, I hope I have strengthened in each of you a commitment to examine your own fears and pursue the raw excitement that comes with tackling them. But my other strong message to you this evening is that each of you should make travel to some part of this world one of your goals. Whatever your career intentions are, and wherever you locate geographically, you will always be better off for having seen a different part of our Earth firsthand. I believe it makes your own sense of place more concrete. You will see places you'll love forever. You will meet people who are ordinary and extraordinary, and both will surprise you. Your rubber bands of safety will be stretched in all sorts of unexpected and uncomfortable directions. Afterwards, you will not completely retract to your original size. This is good. When I look to the people that I consider wise, I see that they are rubber bands that have allowed themselves to be stretched. The stresses they've had have shaped them. They are comfortable with a widened range of ideas. Home is a sense of place they can carry with them, everywhere, every time.
Gerald Oshak.
Grace Davidson. Adam Preacher. Kel McNaughton.
Lindsay Dunn.
Curtis Lazaro. I want to meet you.
Leave high school tomorrow with appreciation for what you have learned, but leave it with greater appreciation for the new learning that awaits you. Accept the challenges of living a personally fulfilling life. This does not mean to run breakneck into grandiose schemes. Exploit your rubber bands of safety. Let your fears help you to see what means most to you. Scrutinize your own sense of contentment. You need not dream big, but you must dream. I leave you with the words of George Bernard Shaw. I'm not a teacher, only a fellow traveler of whom you asked the way. I pointed ahead of myself as well as you.
I feel fine, I am resigned to this. I am a lone wolf. I am a lone wolf. my cares, wrapped up all nice and neat in my suitcase. I take her down the street to a place with